A big hello to you all out there, wherever you're watching in the world. I'm Molly and today I'm excited to show you how to take successful double exposures on your Instax Square SQ6. That is this camera here. It's an analog camera that prints out square film and has a really fun double exposure setting. If you don't have this camera, not to worry, this feature is also on other Instax cameras, or you can find this on certain phones and other cameras in general. So what is the basic idea behind a double exposure on an instant film camera? Well, to take a regular photo, you would aim at your subject, you press the shutter button, and the shutter will open, letting light into the camera to expose the film inside. Then the film will pop up at the top of the camera. Now, with a double exposure, all of this happens as usual, but the film won't come out the top of the camera straight away. Instead, you'll take another photo and repeat this whole process. So the shutter will open and let more light into the camera, exposing the same piece of film, and then the film will come out the camera. So essentially, you've taken two photos on one piece of film, and these will layer together and combine. So I want to show you a couple of ways that I use the double exposure setting and give you some tips along the way. So the first thing to remember when you're double exposing film is that the darker parts of the first photo are where the second photo will show up. A good example to help me explain this is this double exposure, which you may have seen before. It's essentially a silhouette for the first shot and then filling it with a texture for the second shot. For this to work effectively, you need your first subject to be with a white background or bright white sky like this one, or a bright white wall behind, so you get that silhouette figure. And then you come in and you take a nice shot of some texture and it fills in the darker parts of the photo. And as you can see here, this is an example of when it didn't work as well because I didn't follow the rule. So these are the same subjects but with a darker background against the first subject. And you can see in the second photo the flowers have just covered the whole image. So you don't get that silhouette-y effect as well as you do in the first image. Another way I really like to use double exposures is with the same subject twice over. This works really well if you keep your camera as still as possible but just move the subject around. It can look really cool. I think this also works best if you've got a really plain background so you don't get too much texture coming over your images. Another way I like to double expose my photos is by taking the camera, covering half of the lens in some tape and taking the first shot, and then switching the tape to the other side of the lens for the second shot. This gives you the perfect half and half for your images. So here you can see I have covered the tape vertically for this shot and horizontally for this shot. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this helps you take some exciting and unexpected double exposures. Remember to share and tag Instax in your creations.